So
Okay.
professor, the most important function of epic poetry is to transmit the values by which a group of people is to live. Okay, so the most important thing that epic poetry is to like put their values by which a group of people is to live. So to share these.
Yeah.
This transmission of these values is accomplished not by an explicit discussion of those values, but rather by their embodiment in heroic figures who are presented as role models. So we're saying like, hey, we don't do this by just like talking about these values. We do it by showing that these heroic these role models have it. Imitating those role models gives meaning and direction to the lives of those who hears the poems. So like by doing like what, yeah, awesome. So what kind of question is this?
Must be true.
Awesome. So is this bottom up, or top down?
Top down.
Yes. So go ahead and start with A and tell me like it, leave it, or hate it.
All right. So an important function of poetry is to give meaning and the direction to the lives of those who hear it or read it. No, because that's too generalized. Like it's gonna be talking about like epic poetry, not just poetry in general.
Okay. I honestly probably would have picked up on that and been like, ew, I'm not completely sure, but I can see that part in there because this is say the most important of epic. So you're probably absolutely right. All right, go on to B.
All right. Epic poems accomplish their most important function by presenting heroic figures as role models. I would keep it for right now.
All right, awesome. I like it because it says, hey, the transmission is accomplished by
By presenting these figures as role models.
Yep. All right, go on to C.
When values are represented in poetry, they are rarely, if ever, set forth explicitly. No.
Yeah, one, we're talking about all poetry again, and we're like,
Yeah.
really, that's so strong.
I was like, rarely, if ever, no. Okay. For many groups of people, heroic figures serve as role models, embodying the values by which those people are to live. So for many groups of people, heroic figures serve as role models. I don't think that's necessarily true for this passage, correct? Because we're talking about like epic poetry.
Yeah, for many groups of people. So who would be the many groups of people? I wouldn't know.
I was like, I don't think I know.
We're just talking about the lives of those who hear the poems. I don't think that's different.
Yeah, and we don't know how many groups, even how many people that is.
Okay.
All right. And then only epic poetry presents heroic figures as role models that, if imitated, give meaning and direction to the lives of those who hear it. Okay. I would also keep E too.
Okay, so now we're between B and E.
Yeah. So you got the most important of epic poetry. Oh, wait. I don't know if I like B because it says accomplish their most important function.
What don't you like about it?
Do we know if they accomplished their most important function?
Well, it says
Their most important function is.
and then we say this is accomplished by.
Oh, crap. Yeah, I forgot that. By presenting heroic figures as role models. So the epic poetry, transmit the values is accomplished by presenting the figures as role models.
There's one word that one of these very wrong. There's one word that makes E wrong.
Oh, only?
Only. Yeah. Do we know that only epic poetry?
No.
No.
We just know the most important function of epic poetry.
I mean, we just know that epic poetry, this happens. We don't know that there's no other kind of poetry that does this. Where it says that epic poems accomplish their most important function. So the most important function is to transmit the values to the group of people where they live. We do
Mm-hmm.
this by not by talking about it, but by rather having heroic figures
Mm-hmm.
being presented as role models, which is exactly what
I
it
I
says.
wrote that as like literally a chain. I literally wrote from most important to transmit values to embodiment. Okay. I
I
didn't
would
look at my
not have
thing.
even diagrammed this question.
Yeah.